Dear British friends, on the Brexit vote you were conned. Both retainers and leavers were conned. And let me explain you why, starting to talk to the people who voted Remain. Unfortunately, what you hear is true. The European Union is not democratic, and it's not really a European Union. It looks much more like a European disunion. This European disunion is undemocratic because it's home to the only parliament in the world with no legislative power. In fact, you elect people who can only amend, reject and prove laws that are written by somebody else, by the European Commission. And the European Commission is not elected, it's nominated. The EU is structured in such a way that people's interests are never really pursued. Budgets are not shared, and most importantly, financial institutions have a firmer grip on the EU's decisional power than the people. This European disunion, rather than working on people's interests, have been defending financial institutions for years. Just think about what happened in Greece. The European Commission seemed to be much more interested in defending the bank's investment than people's welfare and well-being. Supporting today this European disunion as it is means supporting an undemocratic institution. It is undemocratic. But maybe rather than leaving the European Union altogether, there is another option, an option that nobody really talks about and that I would like to discuss with you in this video. However, before doing so, I would like to talk to the leavers. You have been told that Brexit will give you sovereignty. You have been told that the money that you have been giving for years to the European Union will now be spent in the welfare system, in the British welfare system. And you have been told that you will get your country back. But I hope that by now you start realizing that all of these things are lies. Brexit is actually an attack on the British welfare system and liberal society. Brexit is an attempt to benefit corporations and financial institutions. Brexit is an undemocratic process disguised as a fight and a battle for popular sovereignty. And you can see it everywhere. You can see it from the worldview of the people who supported Brexit in the first place. You can see it in the political documents and documentaries that circulated before the vote. And you can see it from what's already happening all around you, starting from the NHS. You were promised 350 million a week for the NHS, but the truth is that the NHS is at risk of being privatized and either sold to US pharmaceutical companies in exchange for a trade deal maybe, or maybe it's a risk of being sold to a British health company that's already started buying GP practices all around the country and in Kent in particular. The truth is that the smaller the influence of political power, the greater becomes the influence of financial institutions. And we can see it in the origin of neoliberalism and austerity. Neoliberalism and the sick globalization started in 1994 with the Marrakesh Agreement. Since then, financial transaction and commerce were progressively liberalized, but nobody was interested in building political and judicial institutions to protect the people's interest. Today, leaving the EU means giving the corporation greater power over the country. It doesn't mean giving back power to the people. The only way to fight neoliberalism today, and the only way to fight austerity and to fight to reclaim popular sovereignty, is to change this anti-democratic European disunion. We need to create a political union responding to the people and not to the lobbies. We need a political power that's strong enough to fight neoliberal policies all around the world. And for this we have to be united. But the institutions need to respond and be accountable to the people and not to the financial institution.